Welcome to the Growing Your Business podcast, a program created to answer the question, what's in it for me, for both the business and their customers. Today's guest had this to say.
My number one thing with the owners is trust. You got to build a trust. You got to build a repertoire with them, then you build that trust up. I'm interviewing you. Is it a good property for me? Does it fit for our portfolio? And then you're also looking at me is, do I want to hand over the keys to a $300,000, $400,000 house and let this guy take it?
Now, stay tuned as we hear more on their values, mission, and why they continue to grow their business. Today on Growing Your Business, I'm joined by Glynn Crutsinger of Real Property Management One Source. And you're a repeat. Glynn, we had you on last year.
Yeah, we did it last year, and we made the cut, and we're coming back again.
All right. And you probably have new and interesting stuff to share with us this time. But let's start where we start, which is tell me about your business and how you serve your customers.
Well, Real Property Management, we're a property management company. Yeah. We specialize in leasing residential properties, whether it's intentional investor or accidental homeowner. Maybe somebody died in the family, or somebody they're downsizing, or people are moving into assisted living. We can help. We give another option besides selling the house. We can hold the house for you, keep the house in the family, and you generate an income, a monthly income.
Right, so, from the renter.
We work real well with realtors. Realtors, of course, they buy and sell. We're in the hold pattern, yeah. And we're on the investment side for that.
Terrific. So you can serve just individual one house, or people who have a bunch of properties?
Yeah, I would say probably 80% of our houses, our portfolio is single-family homeowners.
Really?
And then we got probably 20% of the they're investors.
Yeah, the investor types. Mm-hmm. What geographic area do you serve?
We have a large territory. We're basically Hillsborough to the Red River. Oh, wow. But we mainly focus, I would say 65-70% of our properties are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But we do have a few outside of that.
What got you into this business, Glynn?
Well, I was all my life I've been a property or a product manager for large corporations like Train and Emerson. Got laid off, and after doing that for 30 years and kind of looked at the big picture and says, what do I want to do different? And we decided we wanted to go look into starting our own company. And then we started looking at the franchises. We looked at probably 20 different franchises, and we ended up closing on the Real Property Management because at the time that was when the real estate market was down.
So we're talking around 2008?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got in at that time, and we just saw the potential of the growth.
Oh, yeah.
Of the market there.
Since then it's grown like crazy, I imagine. Past 15 years.
It's been a boom. So that's how we got there.
That's terrific. Was there a second place? I mean, were you looking specifically at property management franchises or hot dog vendors, those types of things?
We looked at restaurants. The big thing we didn't like about restaurants, we saw the after 1 year, very, very high
return. Yeah, and loss.
They go out of business, and the returns were nothing. So we started looking at what economically, what could we do that we could spin off, and we could do other companies off that. And with Real Property Management, we could when you're in the property management business, you're looking at painters, carpet cleaners, you're looking handyman,
all the
trade, basically anything, any trade that deals with the home. That was another potential for us that we could start another side company to do that work.
Gotcha.
With our property management.
So do you own several
right now?
Companies?
We don't yet, but that's something we're looking at in the future.
But meanwhile, you can make great referral
we're doing
partners.
real well with
all the
property
different business.
management, and we got contacts left and right. I'm kind of the person, I know somebody.
Stay with us. The Growing Your Business podcast will return right after this. The Growing Your Business podcast is sponsored in part by Visual Learning Solutions. Stands out with its expertise in crafting immersive audio and video experiences. Their creative team has over 30 years of experience delivering dynamic internal training programs tailored to various industries. They ensure the audience receives a compelling message, promotes brand awareness, and increases return on investment. They also excel in producing marketing content. Learn more at their website, visuallearningsolutions.com. Please check our show notes for sponsorship links and additional details. Now, back to the Growing Your Business podcast with Buddy Broyles. Talk to me about what sets your business apart from other property management companies.
I guess my number one thing with the owners is trust. You got to build a trust. Our longest owner that we've talked to was 5 to 6 years ago. That's when we started talking to him, and we finally, here last month, we signed them. You got to build a repertoire with them. Then you build that trust up, and hopefully they'll come. And I mean, the way I look at it, it's an interview process, and I'm interviewing you. Is it a good property for me? Does it fit for our portfolio? And then you're also looking at me do I want to hand over the keys to a $300,000, $400,000 house and let this guy take it? So that's kind of how we got.
Yeah, where you are now.
How we work, we work now with the owners.
Yeah, trust is a big factor. What's your ideal process? Let's say that, I like the concept of the accidental owner. Well, let's just say that I ended up with a property on my hands. How do we get started?
Pick up the phone and call us. A lot of property managers, it's kind of funny. I answer my phone.
Yeah, good.
When it rings, I answer the phone. And to me, that's number one in sales. You got to do that. And so many times the owner, when they're calling us,
you're surprised that you answered.
Phone.
Oh, wow.
And they're kind of, it's a person. Yeah. And I kind of make a joke of it. Go, isn't that what you're supposed to do? And they'll say, hey, I've talked to I've called 3 or 4 other people. I've left them messages. They hadn't called me back, all that. So that's kind of the start of everything.
That's a big deal. And then from there, it's basically just figuring out the needs. What is it? Now, walk me through your all of your services.
To give you a good idea, I mean, we got a video.
Okay.
I don't know if we can cut to it.
Sure. Let's pause for a second and roll that video and then talk about it after.
What does Real Property Management do for you? Advertising, marketing, prepping, inspecting, showing and screening, reviewing, accepting, selecting and signing, briefing and moving, maintaining, inspecting, enforcing, responding, pricing and saving, communicating, emailing and calling and faxing and stating, coordinating, scheduling, unlocking, fixing, accounting, reporting, funding, filing, and nixing, complying, renewing or moving, collecting, evicting, assessing, rekeying, and ever repeating. And meanwhile, we're training and ever refining, always running to keep vacancies ever declining. Because real property management means so much more than cashing a rent check. Oh no, so much more. The discount shops say they can do all this too, without staff, systems, resources. How can that be true? Tens of thousands of investors nationwide know when they need real management, just where to go. We're proven and trusted winter, spring, summer, fall, from major catastrophes down to the small. So if you own rentals, grab the phone and make a call. Real Property Management. We handle it all.
Wow, Glynn, that was a lot of information jam-packed into one video. That guy talks fast.
It gets you good. I always, when I'm doing presentations, I'm dropping the mic.
Yeah, because that says
you
everything.
You know what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I do.
Yeah, that was very comprehensive. Great stuff. And that's, if you want to see that or hear that again, it's on their website and the links in the show notes.
Yes.
That's great. What a great business. So, kind of going back your full career, what would you say to other entrepreneurs who are looking to do something like you do?
It's
It's not easy,
it's
right?
Not,
it's not
it's
easy.
not
Yeah.
easy.
Takes a
Things
special
don't
kind of person.
happen. Things don't happen as quick as you want them to. You got to really not give up. You got to have a lot of gumption or whatever you want to say.
And patience is a virtue in your
yes.
business, I imagine.
And you just got to network. The number one thing in our business is networking to get business. We go to 3 different chamber events. We have the Downtown McKinney Network group. We do them, and
It's just who you
they
know.
just gotta.
Yeah.
It's who you know.
You have to know people
You
in
get
this
to know
business.
everybody. If you do it long enough, they'll realize, hey, this guy's not a fly-by-night
Right.
guy, and he's going to be here for good. So that's where we get a lot of people.
And having done it for so long, I imagine you have some stories to tell. Because again, if I came to you and I had a property or two, my concerns are, one, keeping it rented with good renters. I mean, tell me about some of those challenges.
Yeah, up front, one of the biggest things that we can do is do the background check on tenants. Right. When we do a background check, we do a credit check. You do credit check, employment check, rental history, and you also work on criminal background. So we're looking at all 4 of those items, and you can't pencil whip those. You gotta physically call the old previous landlords. You gotta call the current employers, make sure the people are who they say they are. Yeah. And I could write a book about all the lies. We get lied to daily, and you got to weed through that and find the right people. Because if you don't, an eviction's not a fun thing, and we've had to do a few evictions, and
you have that process
down. They get messy.
Yeah. And I'll tell the listeners and viewers, scroll down and put some comments in here. I think Glynn needs to write that book. And just put in the chat for everybody. He's like, we'd love to know how many people would raise their hand and say, I want to read Glynn's book. So please write that book, Glynn.
That would be
everybody loves a good collection of human stories. These are real people doing real things. Obviously, names would change, right?
Yeah.
But boy, I bet you've seen every kind of mess. But you've also, because of your process, it sounds like you're finding good tenants.
We're finding real good tenants. Over the time, we have tenants that have been there 5 or 6 years so far, and they're still going.
That's best case scenario.
And they're almost like family. Yeah. You know everything about their kids. You work and build up that relationship, and that's part of the property management. If you can get those people, that's easy money there, because you're taking care of them, and they know they're happy. And you keep them going.
Both sides of the policy are
you
happy.
Do that.
Yeah.
You do that a lot more on the owner side, because you got to. The owners are the ones you definitely want to keep happy, and you definitely got to have a good relationship with them.
Yeah. How do you weather, and how do you work with your clients to weather the changes in the housing market? Right now we're just past an election year, so all kinds of laws and policies are changing. How do you stay ahead of that, Glynn?
Yeah, right now we're seeing a trend of a lot of people had their houses on the market for sale, and now with the economy, the elections, the wars going on,
price of eggs
and just the people. You don't know who's going to say what politics-wise, and it's just going to flip over. So there's a lot of people that are scared of the economy right now, and they're taking their houses off the market, and they're saying, okay, I'm going to rent this for a couple of years, and then hopefully the market will be bounce back up. Sure. 2 years ago, man, we couldn't. As soon as we got a property, we had it rented. Now more so, it's the days on the market's lasting a little longer. For sure. But we're holding price, but in some areas it's kind of dropping. So, but we that's one of the things we do. What I find out usually when we do lease renewals, the value of where we set the the price the year before when they signed, we ended up being at the top of the market.
Oh, really?
So we're actually, wherever we sign it on a property, we're bringing the average market price up. So it's good for the whole area. But it's harder on the next time when you come through and you re-sign the tenant. We're already at the high side. So we got to either hold price or try to still get a little bit for the owner because their costs are still going up. They have the HOA fees, the taxes, everything's increasing for the owner. So you still got to try to get them more.
You mentioned you have some, the 20%, the multiple property owners. How do you work with them and advise? How would you advise them to come to you and bring their properties to you?
Well, one program that we have with the owners, we have what we call an investment program, where they, for every property they bring us, we give them a 0.25% discount on the management side. And so what we're doing, we're trying to give them incentive. You go buy me another property and put it in our portfolio, and we'll give you a better discounted rate. And that seems to be working pretty good for us. We picked up an owner 2 or 3 weeks ago that he had 6 properties, and you got them. They all were they had tenants already in them, so we just put them in, and now we're just going,
managing the process and staying on top of everything, so the owners don't have to.
Yep,
that's terrific. So you mentioned the website, and going back to the video we saw a little bit earlier. How would you like to be contacted? And we're going to put it in the show notes, Glynn.
You have my email address. Like I said, I answer my phone. If I don't, I answer the voicemail when you leave me a message. I can be text.
Sure.
Anyway.
Gotcha. The normal ways. And again, scroll down. Everybody, the notes are there for you.
Yep.
Parting thoughts, Glynn. What do you envision the future of your business, and what would you advise people?
Well, our plan is to add another 50 to 100 units this year. We need those owners that hopefully they'll see this, feel comfortable, and give us a call, and we'll talk more details about that. And we're just in a growth mode. And as far as others out there, don't be afraid to try something new, even when you're old.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's always a chance for a new beginning, and you've succeeded at that.
Yep.
That's great.
Absolutely.
Well, Glynn, I really appreciate you coming in, sharing your knowledge and your passion for what you do on the Growing Your Business podcast.
Well, I appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us today on the Growing Your Business podcast. Please see the show notes for links to our sponsors, our social media, and to learn more about today's guest.